So my name is Adrian Thomas. I work as a product manager at Equinux. And in Equinux, we've been making Mac, iPhone, iPad apps basically since forever. So we made apps before there was an iPhone for the Mac, and then we started developing iPhone applications, iPad applications. We make gadgets. We do all sorts of different things. But I'm going to talk to you today about one sector that we've been working on a lot. Perhaps a quick note on our experience with the iPraktikum. So we've been doing this now for 7 years. So this was going to be our 8th iPraktikum. And we've had some pretty cool times. We've done some amazing projects. You know, we love what Professor Brugger has come up with here. The format is really cool. And we're always excited by what you guys come up with. This is a picture of one of the projects where Nitish was working with us. And and we're really excited to be here again this year. So this year we're going to be doing something involved with our mail business. We make an app called Mail Designer Pro, and it lets you design email newsletters. So you can build a newsletter from scratch on your Mac. Sort of an easy way to think about it is like Photoshop for newsletters. And it's easy to use, and it's a powerful graphical design tool. And businesses use this to build their newsletters. So if they want to sell to customers, they can create images, create graphics, drag it all together, and make a really cool sales newsletter. These are fully responsive newsletters. They use web fonts, so they're like really modern and fully compatible email newsletters. It's the #1 email newsletter design tool for the Mac. We're sort of pretty unique in the market here, and it's used by teams all over the world. Big companies use it. Apple uses it internally. Google uses it. And it's been featured by Apple a few times as well. So we've got a really cool tool here but it's available on the Mac at the moment. And so that got us to thinking when we were talking to Professor Brugger about the iPraktikum, what can we do with sort of the technology we have here? Where can we apply it in a different space? And so, of course, at the moment this is for businesses, sales newsletters, as I said. But we wanted to see what we can do in terms of bringing it to other audiences. Because what do we do on our iPhones all day? We message people. Like, I'm sure if you're like me, you spend all day on WhatsApp, you've got friend group chats going, it's buzzing all the time, so you do lots of communication on your iPhone and iPad. That's what they're for. I mean, we communicate on these devices. So we started thinking, well, what space of communication is there that we can apply this technology to? And so we think messaging apps like WhatsApp and stuff are really good for sort of really intimate conversation. People you talk to every day, that's what messaging is for. But we have other circles of people that maybe we don't speak to every single day. So, who might that be? Well, it can be friends and family as well. Like, I have some family members, I talk to them like, once a year. Or I have friends sometimes, ex people, from school or, from uni perhaps. You speak to them maybe once or twice a year. Same with colleagues or business contacts. I don't see Bernd as often as I like. There's a picture of us together at WWDC. So you have these sort of more casual acquaintances that you perhaps don't speak to quite as often. So when do you speak to them? Well, typically it's when there's like a special occasion. And one very common example for this is birthdays. And so when somebody's birthday is coming up, you want to maybe say something to them, but you're not really that sort of person who, is just going to send them a WhatsApp all the time. Because that's how we do it at the moment. Typically we fire up WhatsApp, and hands up if you sent this exact message sometime recently. Go on, actually put your hands up. Who sent this message? All of you have. Come on, be honest. And no, I'm sorry, you haven't sent this message. You sent this message, right? You've made something more interesting. You've added emojis. Wow. A lot of thought went into that message. I mean, I had to pick that emoji, I had to pick the balloons. It was incredible. Or you do the same thing on Facebook. And I love these Facebook threads where it's like, hey, it's somebody's birthday. You go onto there, and it's like 36 people have posted, happy birthday, or because we're in Germany, alles Gute. So, these are super boring. They're not very thoughtful, and they're not very personal either. So something, it feels very generic. You feel bad sending it, the person getting it thinks, okay, he made an effort, but not a very large effort. So how do we fix this? I mean, this is not something we've been doing for years and years. Like, in the real world, we've been saying, happy birthday to people for forever. Well, how do we do it? With cards. I mean, this is like a very, typical thing that people do. You have to go to the shop, so you have to make an effort. go out to the real world. You have to pick a card. You have to look at all the different types they have. You have to think, okay, for mum, I'm going to get one with flowers. For dad, I'm going to get the one with the beer. There's sort of these stereotypes, but there's actually some thought that goes into it. And then you also have to write the card. So you've got to, actually remember writing? Who's written a message this year with a pen, an actual pen, not a pencil? Yeah, there's some of you here. So you have to write a personal message. You have to get it, you have to do something that takes a bit of time and effort. So we think that we can combine these ideas and we can come up with a new option. I know what you're thinking, e-cards. They've been done, Adrian. But we're going to do something a bit different this year as well. That's why we need the best and the brightest of you, so only the really good people apply for this one. And we're going to call it... So you're already the brightest, I'm being told. Sorry. And we're going to call this product Occasions, because we think this is the time you want to make the extra effort when there's a special occasion. You want to send a personalized message to people. You want to make the extra effort, and it has to look cool. It should be nicely designed. It should feel great. And this is what we guys want you to build for iPhone and iPad. We've got some feature ideas that we're going to throw at you. So we don't expect you to come up with lots of designs and graphics for greeting cards. We have a tool, Mail Designer, that can build that. And we also have some designers who can come up with that content. We have some existing content we can use. So we can help with the templates. But you're going to present the user a list of templates that they can use. And then we want you to get creative with sort of the opportunities that the platform gives you. So if it's on the iPad, you can do something with pencil. Add a personalized signature or write out the entire message on the iPad. You can use cool photos you have of the person you're emailing or sending a message to. You can get really personal there as well. We want it to be smart as well. Bernd had some great ideas here that we would think are really cool and should be included. Obviously, since we're on the iPhone or iPad, we can access your calendar, and we can figure out when the next birthday is coming up, so we can give you a reminder. But we don't just want it to be like a dumb, hey, you should send someone a message. We want the reminder to be smarter than that. We want it to figure out which cards or which designs are suitable for the person you're going to be emailing. So let's say somebody's birthday is coming up, sort of the types of, roughly the age that they're in, the types of designs that might be suitable for that person, if it's a boy or a girl, so you can figure out sort of what kinds of cards might be suitable. And based on the cards you've picked in the past, the system's going to learn and figure out what you like to send as well. And there's nothing more embarrassing than sending the same card 2 years in a row. Especially if it comes up in their inbox and they can see, they've just copied and pasted. So we're also going to figure out how to avoid that by, remembering which card you sent to this person last year or for the last occasion and making sure you don't send it twice. But we wanted to be able to share this message that you created on the platforms you use to talk to that person. So, I have some friends, I only talk to them on WeChat. Some people only use Signal with certain groups of friends. Mum can only use WhatsApp, so that's why I send her stuff. So, you should be able to post these cards to the platforms your contact's already using. Perhaps if it's a business contact, so I'm sure you all have people you work with on Slack together. Maybe that's where you want to share that card to them. Or you should be able to post it on social media as well. Why not post it to Facebook? You should be able to share that. That's the thing you've created. In terms of architecture, we have a few ideas here. Bernd said something really good earlier about this being an exciting opportunity for you guys to try new technologies, for us to experiment with you as well. So, as I said, we can use Mail Designer Pro to leverage the content design aspect of things. We have some experience, some tools that we can use for actual HTML editing, for sending out emails and stuff, so we can bring some expertise there. We'd like to do some stuff like host all the content on AWS, so we have to implement best practices there in terms of fetching the content, caching it. And we'd also want to make this smart aspect of it really clever, so it should be powered by perhaps Firebase. Perhaps we can use AWS Lambda functions to do some of the prediction stuff. So we're open to some different ideas here. I think there's lots of opportunity to experiment and build something really special. So that's our idea. This is what we're going to be building this year. In the past, so 2 of the products we built here in the iPraktikum have shipped on the App Store, and we hope to do the same again this year. We think we can build something cool, and the iPraktikum is a place where real products can come to life. I'll be here for the rest of the evening. I'm here with Max and Alexis. Give us a wave, people. So if you have any questions, come find us afterwards. I mentioned Equinux also makes gadgets, so there'll be opportunity for you to perhaps take home some of those cool gadgets as well. So come find us if you have questions. We'll be happy to answer them. And if I don't see you today, then I look forward to seeing you next week during the kickoff. Thank you.